Hey yo, what is up everybody, it is Saintsfan and welcome back to another GTA 5 video. Today we have definitely some interesting stuff to talk about regarding the Flight School DLC update 1.16, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to be showing you guys some images of what the new DLC vehicles may potentially look like, as well as go over some prices, color schemes, and some other information regarding the DLC. So I hope you guys do enjoy. So first thing I just want to say is that obviously the two leaks that I'm going to be talking about, just take them with a grain of salt. The first one I'll talk about was from ECB2. He's done some stuff in the past, and you're going to see tomorrow on the Squadcast, we go a little bit more in depth on that one, because we recorded the Squadcast yesterday when that was the main leak out. But then this morning, Chrome Mods, good friend of mine, go check him out, his link will be in the description. He actually found some code in the game, which is a lot more credible than what ECB2 released. Not saying ECB's was not credible, just saying there was no proof behind his. And both of them were a little bit different, but like I said, we'll get into that in a second. So the first thing from ECB, so yesterday he put out this post on Reddit, and I'll probably link it in the description if you want to go check it out. But basically he talked about flight suits and how there's going to be a heroic new flight suit. There's 10 new solo missions. There are reserve parachutes and new parachute bags. And then there's 4 new vehicles, being the Western Besra, the Swift luxury helicopter, the 16-seater Buckingham Miljet, as well as the Invitero Coquette Classic, either in hardtop or topless roadster variants. So that's what he said. And going a little bit in depth, or one thing before we actually get into some pictures, the one thing that was interesting is that there was no mention of Hydra or of the Hydra in this in his leak. And we've seen some coding in the past that relates to the Hydra, prices, stuff like that. So that's why I kind of thought it was definitely pretty interesting, the fact that it didn't include it. Now getting into the 4 vehicles that ECB leaked. So the first one, the Western Besra. Now I'll put a picture on the screen. And in the description for the new solo missions, it talks about the fast and nimble Western Besra training jet. Now, training jet, what you're going to see on the screen, that kind of means that, at least I assume it's going to mean that there's not going to be any, weapons on it. If it's a training jet, normally training jets, when you just think of that term, you wouldn't really associate it with weaponry. And the picture on the screen is a jet that, potentially could go fast. Maybe this would be the fastest jet in the game, a lot faster than a laser, so you won't really need weapons, you can just outrun things. But either way, that's what I'm assuming this Besra is going to look like, some sort of jet like that. The next one was the luxury Swift Helo, and this one was actually in the Ballad of Gay Tony, if you ever played that. And I'll put some pictures on the screen. This is what it looked like in the Ballad of Gay Tony, and that's probably, if it does come with this update, that's probably what it will look like. It's a pretty cool looking, helicopter. Hopefully it holds up to 6 people. If it's this big, I'm assuming it would hold 6, possibly even 8 people. That would be really convenient, because although the regular helicopters in the game, they just hold 4. And, definitely having more people would be beneficial. Now, something that's interesting about this, in particular, the Swift, is that Chrome, his leak, does not actually mention this, but like I said, we'll get into that more in a little bit. The third vehicle, the Buckingham Miljet. This is where it gets interesting, because it says it's a 16-seater, for team transport in style. Now, the Titan, if I remember correctly, only holds 10 people, I think. It might hold 12. I don't know exactly. I know it doesn't hold the entire lobby, which is 16. So I'm wondering what this Miljet could be, because, I don't really know any military jets. Real life, obviously, they all pretty much hold 16 people, the bigger versions. But to add into the game, besides like the AC-130 or the C-130, whatever you want to call it, the Titan, I don't really know what other things could be added. People were saying maybe it's just the Boeing 747, like they have at the airport, just sitting there. You can't actually get into them right now, but maybe they'll unlock those so you can fly those around. But there's also something interesting to note about the Miljet as well, regarding its size in Chrome's leak, so you'll see about that. But that is definitely one of the interesting ones out of this bunch for me. And then finally, the fourth and last vehicle, which is kind of odd that they're putting a car with a flight school update, but nonetheless, the Invitero Coquette Classic. Now, me and Ross, as you're going to hear tomorrow in the Squadcast, we kind of have two theories on this. One being it's going to look like one of the pictures that I put on the screen right now, you know, a 1963 or 1970, you know, in that era of you know, Corvettes. Obviously, one being hard-topped and one being, you know, a roofless version. But it could also mean the Coquette from GTA 4, which would definitely be awesome because that was one of my favorite cars in that game, and having them import that to GTA 5 would be huge. But just let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which one do you think it'll be? Which one would you rather it be? You know, a 1963 or you know, a 1960s type of car, or you know, the one from GTA 4. Now that is pretty much it for the you know, for the DLC info, or the leaked info that ECB gave out. Like I was saying, also they had reserved parachutes, so now you can hold 2 parachutes, as well as new parachute bags, which I'm gonna be assuming instead of having just a white one that you can wear, they'll put different colors. But that is pretty much it for that. And then he also talked about flight suits. Now, what the flight suits might be, some people are saying it's wingsuits. Probably not the case. I'll put a couple pictures on the screen right now. One of these pictures is actually from Battlefield, but you know, maybe some sort of outfit like that. Or actually, there's even a mission that you do in GTA single player, one of the Strangers and Freaks missions, where Franklin is wearing a pilot suit. So maybe you'll see something similar to that in online. I mean, it'd definitely be cool. I love getting new outfits all the time. And speaking of outfits, Fashion Friday will be up later today, probably towards the end of the day. I'm super busy right now, so definitely make sure you check that out. But if they do add some sort of outfit like this, that would be cool. Now, the 10 new solo missions, that will probably just in single player, because this is the San Andreas Flight School update. Like, it is going to be part of the pilot school, the flight school, but obviously the vehicles are going to transfer online. But that is pretty much it with the ECB leak. That one, he wouldn't give out his, like, he wouldn't give any proof behind it. He just said, watch it happen. So, again, take that one with a grain of salt. But the next one, this one has a lot more credibility to it, just because Chrome, he found it in the game code. And this one actually includes prices, as well as some other interesting bits of information. Now, if you want to go check out Chrome's video, which he talks a lot more in detail of what this stuff kind of means, if you're kind of confused about coding, I'll leave a link in the description to both his channel and the video that he talks about it. But in the code, the first one talks about the Mammoth Hydra. And this is where it gets kind of weird with both the DLC leaks, because this one mentions the Hydra, and this one's in the game code, whereas the one from ECB didn't mention the Hydra, and he's just saying, you know, to trust him. And also, the Hydra, it says it's going to be $1.7 million. Now, whether or not that's in single player or online, it's still not determined, but according to Chrome, you know, in the game code, the Hydra is definitely coming, which is awesome. Like, out of everything, out of all these vehicles, the Hydra's like probably the top one that I want, just because it's a new jet that can kill people, right? Like, it's fun to do that stuff. So the next one, obviously, the Buckingham Miljet. This one, it says it's $1.2 million or $1.25 million. The next one is the Western Bessera, and this one says it's $1.985 million. And what's kind of weird, and this is where I don't know if these are online prices or not, because why would the Bessera, if according to ECB it's just a training jet, why would it be more than the Hydra, unless it can really go super speed and get away from people? That's the only reason I can think it could be more expensive than the Hydra. And then finally, the Invitero Coquette. It actually has 2 prices on it, which is kind of weird. So the first price is $665,000, and then the second price is $695,000. And these 2 prices do kind of make sense, just because if there are 2 different versions of it, you know, a hard top as well as the no top, then obviously one maybe will cost more. Now, something that's interesting about the Hydra, and Chrome talks about it in his video, there's actually a check for whether or not the player is in the passenger seat or the pilot seat, which is kind of odd, because if it checks for that, that means it's going to be a 2-seater jet, which would be amazing. Like, that's one of the things I'm hoping they add. You know, the laser's cool and all, but that is something that I want to see added into the game. I want there to be some jets like the laser, but, you know, with multiple people in them. So if the Hydra does wind up being a 2-seater jet, that would be really, really cool. And then another thing, I mean, and this is kind of, we kind of assume this just because of the, the way the Hydra, it's supposed to be like an F-35. But just to give us some more confirmation on this, but in the code it checks for a vertical flight mode, and it talks about toggling a hover mode on and off. So again, some more awesome info about the Hydra. And this, like I said, it's from the game code, so this stuff was just added like a day ago. So why would they add all this info about the Hydra if it wasn't going to be coming? Which, again, everything, take it with a grain of salt. I guess we'll find out Tuesday. And interesting enough, Tuesday is National Aviation Day, so just keep that in mind as well. And then the last thing they talk about is the Buckingham Miljet colors. The two colors that it gives is a metallic stone silver, as well as a worn white and a worn black. So I guess we'll be seeing that. And then finally, the last bit of information regarding the Miljet, as well as the Besra, but mainly just the Miljet. So it's a 16-seater according to ECB. But if it's a 16-seater, that means it's got to be a pretty decent-sized plane. Well, people are saying maybe it's a Boeing, maybe it's the cargo plane. Well, according to Chrome and according to the code, the Besra and the Miljet will spawn in hangars at Trevor's airfield. So if it does spawn in a hangar at his airfield, it can't be that big, which is definitely really interesting to note. But that is pretty much it with this, a bunch of information. I know, again, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the pictures. Tomorrow we'll talk a little bit more in the Squadcast about some of this stuff, but you're not going to get the pictures in that. So I wanted to make this just to clear some stuff up in case you did have any questions. Like I said, Tuesday is National Aviation Day, so what better day to release a flight school update than that day? And by then, all the DLC or all the modded stuff, all the glitches that are happening should be patched. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go ahead and drop a like if you are excited for this flight school. I know it's kind of been like an ongoing thing. Everybody, we all keep saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, but it hasn't come yet. Well, Tuesday, if it doesn't come, then something's wrong. Like, I think the 3 people at Rockstar, they might have left the building. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But hope we see something soon. But if I were you, I would definitely this weekend, go with your friends, play some missions, get a ton of money. Because if you guys saw the prices, whether those are online or not, that's a lot of money. I think it's total like $5 million or something. So you're gonna need a good chunk of money to buy some of these jets. And one thing I was actually talking to somebody about, I wonder if they'll make some of these jets like above level 120 to unlock, maybe like a level 150 or something, just to give people who, just give people something extra to strive for after 120, because that's what the game's missing. So maybe that'll make it a little bit more balanced if they did add the Hydra or, one of these other jets to the game. Anyway, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section. It'll be interesting to hear them. Hope you guys enjoyed. Fashion Friday will be up later today. Anyway, as always, it's your boy Saintsfan. I'm out. Peace.